After a small amount of cleanup, some things I have discovered is the decal right here. The remnants of a decal was here, and also the remnants of a decal was on the rear of the tank. You can see the imprint, but not none of the decal. It appears like it's going to clean up real good, the gas tank. Good threads. What I will do is clean this up, scrape it down completely. Then I will give it a soak in some lacquer thinner, a bucket that I have saved up for some time for wash purposes, to get all the oil off of it, and then I will put it in the electrolysis tank. Then after we bring it from the electrolysis tank, we'll prime it, set it aside for assembly. Let's just see how tight that plug is. I can tell already it's going to be tight because it didn't even I don't know, did it turn? Oh, I think oh yes, we good to go here. Occasionally want to go your way. And what happened here is, you can see that's a fine thread bolt that someone has put in there, cut off, and then they took a hacksaw and sawed a very shallow groove in it. We're going to put a plug back in it. But, oh, I'm glad that came out like that. And the threads looks really good in there. And after I bring it out of the electrolysis tank, I will run a tap in all holes before we assemble it. But it's a good tank, ready for the electrolysis after a wash down. What I wanted to bring to everyone's attention that I'm going to need is 2 spark plugs. We're going to need those. This pulley it's just worn out. The hole's too big. Could be fixed. It's just not worth the time. I will lay it aside. There may come a point in the future where we would need to repair that, but not at the present. The gas tank top is the one that has one reinforcement rib from the pivot pin up to the gas tank. Now these right here, if I bring it to your attention, they have a vent hole right there. When I take this out of the electrolysis, I will put a small, there's a vent hole right there, little bitty fella. That has to be open. You can see it right in yonder, the other end. This one here appears to be stopped up. After I get out of electrolysis, I'll open that. That needs to be free. Even to the extent, if you spray painting these tops, you need to put a small wire in there while you're painting it, and then remove the wire after you paint it, because paint will stop that up. And I have not attempted, other than oiling it up to get the gas filler cap out. And I anticipate, this is the early style that does not have the chain on it, and I do anticipate this one falling apart when I try to get it out. So I will try to secure another one of those from somebody, gas cap, because I think this one, I'm gonna give it a go in electrolysis first. Other than that, it appears to be good. This part does. There was some traces of green paint on the inside here and right here, confirming it was green. Also on the crankcase itself, quite a lot of green paint remains. This part's good, no damage. Sometimes these will have a crack right here between this set screw and that hole there. This one does not have. The only thing that I might bring to your attention is this does not have a gasket on the bottom between the gas tank and the crankcase itself. these didn't have no gasket down there. I do put some gasket sealer on that area because you do need that to be airtight. I do put some sealer. Well, I'll show you as we install it. This one, if you can see, the bolts has been loose, and you can see where it moved around through the years, and it's actually worn a little bit. So I will run a flat file across there just to knock down the high places only, and so it will be really tight when I put it back on there. Other than that, it appears to be good. The bearing, I will check again, but it appears to be good, and it appeared to be good to start with. I'll probably, I don't like to, but I'll probably replace this slinger ring oil retainer with a oil seal, and we'll go through that later. This will go in the lacquer thinner to remove all the grease, and I'll clean it up with a wire brush really good before I even put it in the electrolysis tank, just to shorten it and make it better. Crankcase, those two parts are good. This cover, I have soaked it in the lacquer thinner, and you can see what a change it's made by the time, and I'm going to straighten that. It does have a little crack. It may come to the point where I may have to put a little dab of braze on there with the torch to, because that's cracked right there, and I'm going to have to straighten this. I'll do that. The pin, I'm going to make a new one. Both cylinders looked good, except the threads are a little bit. I put a spark plug in there, a new one, but the threads are not the best, but it did tighten up quite well. This is the two cylinders that does not have the cutout for the bolt right here. So that in the crankshaft, really good condition on the crankshaft. Good threads on the end, full length, no damage on the end, either one. It's really good. That'll bring us up to where we're at right now. I'll deal with the flywheel. We'll deal with the ignition system by itself. But I am going to clean the parts up. When you see these parts again, most likely they'll be at least been through the electrolysis.